back. This is News.ph. I'm Pia Hontiveros. We're talking about this pivot to China. Tonyo, you wanted to say something?
But most of our neighbors in ASEAN, they have a very independent foreign policy. And they build their own militaries, they build their own political power. So much so that, for example, Vietnam, the example given by Secretary Golez, Vietnam is the only third world country ever defeated the United States in a war. And during that time, China was an ally of Vietnam. So there's some sort of error. But my main point is, you cannot argue, for example, that the NPT and the special relationship with the United States can be a factor for the weakness of the military, because that's the main argument. That's the main argument. All of our governments have said since 1946 as a main ingredient of our military policy for external defense, and half of the 70 years of fighting internal threats. So this is a good opportunity to assess the past 70 years, and I think there's nothing. Nobody can credibly say that this relationship has been very beneficial to the Philippines for the past 70 years.
Yeah. My next question is, on Facebook, Secretary Golez, I saw that you posted some sort of a survey. You were asking, and this was something that you borrowed from another Facebook post. You were asking, which alliance would you prefer? Number one, U.S., Europe?
Yeah, U.S., EU, and Japan.
US, EU, Japan. Number two, China, Russia. Yeah. Of course, it is not scientific.
It's not scientific. It's a very informal, rough survey. Out of the 752 respondents, there were about 1,000 already. But when I counted, out of the 752, only 16 favored China and Russia. About 3 were neutral, and the rest, 97.4%, were in favor of the US, EU, and Japan. And I'm not surprised, because we are socially, culturally, ideologically, and bloodline connected with the US. There are 3.4 billion Filipinos in America. A lot of leaders here in the country, AFP, in the civilian sector, in the business, studied in America. They didn't study in China. Some of them studied in Japan. AFP leaders not only studied in civilian schools, but were trained by the Americans. So there's that very strong link. But beyond that, there's also a scientific survey. In this particular case, by Pew Research. This was 2015. They conducted a survey worldwide and looked at the sentiments of various countries towards the U.S. The U.S. definitely was unpopular, less than 50% in most Middle East countries. But surprisingly very popular in Africa, more than 60%. In Asia, of course, not popular in China, but very popular in South Korea, and very surprisingly, 77% favorable rating in Vietnam, in spite of their 10-year war. In the Philippines, 92% popularity. SWS conducted a survey on this was last year, on the trust rating of China. The trust rating of China was very negative. I think minus 50% or something like that.
That was last year because of
the West Philippine Sea. But I think more so now, because we won in the arbitral tribunal, but China is not respecting the decision of the arbitral tribunal.
And now you have this pivot. But wait, we need to move on. So, the President's embarking on his first visit to China next week. What are you thinking about that? What are you hoping will happen?
I really look for two things that we may accomplish in this trip. First would be the economic, and economic is a little political. It's just maybe to please our.
But when you say economic, sir, siyempre dapat tayo talaga yung makikinabang.
Yeah,
diba?
but that's exactly what I mean. We have to please the Pangasinan, Zambales fishermen to be able to fish in the area. That's economic point. It's very, very small, but very political, then by China's approval for our fishermen to fish there. It's a little thing that's given, but better than nothing.
China's approval.
Yeah,
For them,
Right.
allow them to
Right.
fish.
I'm against that. I'm against
So makikita
asking
sa
their
presidente na
permission.
bigyan nyo kami ng fishing rights, pero hindi nag-claims
I think when we ask for permission, that is a tacit acceptance that they own
That they own
the
it.
area. It should be asking them to lift the blockade in this type of
Yeah.
show.
How would
Yeah,
it
that's
be?
exactly
Illegal
what
blockade.
we're trying to say is bring back the situation over there in the 1992 level, where all countries can really fish there without
But is
looking.
that something that President Duterte can bring up during this visit?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
in
Yes.
spite of the South China Sea
Yes,
disputes,
without
but in spite
discussing
of that, without discussing the arbitral
the
tribunal.
sovereignty and the tribunal's decision. And the second one, of course, is in preparation for the possibility to pull out of the 3 billion ODA. We might be able to get that pledges
Will
from
we be
China.
able to get that
From the Chinese
Will
business.
we?
Yes. I think
Yes,
so.
we can.
Yes, I think we can.
Okay.
Yeah, but then the problem here is the one in China are pledges. The one here in the other side is ongoing. So I don't know what kind of mathematics.
In other words, how do we know if Beijing
Yeah,
will make good use
exactly.
of her?
So the kind of mathematics that you do, they really just cancel each other. If you look at the balance sheet, the zero.
But it's interesting, this very huge business delegation is going with him. Everybody's so excited.
I am not really very excited about the number of people,
Uh,
400, 500,
yeah.
600, and then you are only going to accomplish 2 or 3 small items. So it's really more, I think, on the political.
Okay. But is it right not
Significance.
to discuss the arbitral tribunal? It's
Yes, I
something
think
that
because
can
we have
shelve
to
for
establish
later.
first the warming up with each other.
So icebreaker.
Yeah, so in a way the president said that this is not his first trip. It will be a series of, but then that again I have a little said, why can't you send your diplomats to do that and then you come
Later on.
later on?
But there
Because
is no,
even
there
this
is as
thing-
yet no Philippine ambassador to China. He has not yet been confirmed.
Yes, that's the same thing. And then we keep on talking about independent foreign policy, no problem with that. But the president has not defined what he really means. In other words, he has to put his instructions. What are his priorities? We call this foreign policy thrusts for this year. It's really your priorities. What are you going to do? First, what? We slow down on our U.S. Dealings. We highlight China. What? So
No,
everybody.
his verbal pronouncements are those.
Yeah, but they are not yet. They are not yet officially.
Okay.
It's a good
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that the president is introducing changes
Mm.
because we have a problem in the region concerning our neighbors plus China. And I think it is smart for the president to take a look at new options. The United States is a sea away, an ocean away from the problem. But we have neighbors who are direct claimants also of the South China Sea and other islands. So maybe this independent foreign policy is an opportunity for the Philippines to take a look at bilateral and multilateral solutions to the problem.
Mm.
Not just sasandal lang kay Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Kasi I think our diplomats and our friends in government are so used to the 70-year practice
Yeah.
of just
Pero this time around, Tonyo, sasandal naman ba tayo sa Beijing? Hindi rin?
independent. It's not a pro-China policy.
Okay.
If I may,
let's,
if I may
let's-
input in what you said solutions. I would rather use the word realities, the South China Sea realities.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing that we have to.
We have never discussed, the government has never, past governments have never discussed the Spratley issue, the West Philippine Sea issue with a regional
Yes.
perspective.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
always the
Okay.
Philippines
Yeah.
and the United States.
Very briefly, can you just, in like 2-3 sentences, can you tell us what is it you hope will be achieved by this trip to China?
The president should be able to tell the Chinese government that the Philippines is ready to discuss things diplomatically. That this is that we could work on our problems without the use of the military.
All right, Secretary.
Well, I'm looking at the alignment right now in Asia, and depending on the pivot, I don't know where we will end up. Right now, for example, when it comes to the South China Sea issue. China is almost alone because it is among the coastal states. We have Malaysia, Brunei, Philippines, and China. I think China, being the aggressor, is going to be ganged up, although some do it in a low-key way. Malaysia is in a five-power pact with Singapore, with Australia, Great Britain, and Australia. And definitely, that is to protect also the exclusive economic zone that is being intruded into by China. In the case of Indonesia, Indonesia is not a claimant. However, the Natuna Sea is very close to the South China Sea. But look at what Indonesia is doing. Of course, they beefed up their military, and just about 2 weeks ago, they sent a delegation to the United States to ask the U.S. for assistance in upgrading their naval base in the Natuna Sea area. So you see the alignment. Then Vietnam, of course, they just hosted two U.S. destroyers, and they're definitely leaning towards the U.S. For an alliance to counter the weight of China.
So can you answer your own
Well,
query?
my question
Where
is,
are we going to be? Where are we going to
well,
end
in
up?
my case, I don't want to end up in the China, Cambodia, Laos, North Korea
You'd rather go for number
I'd
one,
rather
US,
stay. I'd rather stay
Japan.
in the status quo.
Yeah.
I don't want to be dealing with countries that we're not familiar with.
Yeah.
The Filipinos
But, sir,
are
before,
not familiar
I have to
with.
say goodbye to you already, the three of you. But tell us, what is it that you hope or expect can be achieved by this trip?
Well, it's good that that we have an assertive president. Maybe he can use his persuasive power to. I think he's going to avoid to talk about the arbitral tribunal, but he will have to rehabilitate. I'd like to say that let us not ask their permission to fish in Scarborough area, but ask them to lift their illegal blockade, because otherwise we might be forfeiting our claim.
All right.
On Scarborough.
All right. Final words, one sentence. Tonyo, one sentence.
The Philippines is not used to hearing its own voice. So maybe it's time to hear our own voice in the international scene.
Secretary Golez.
Well, let's Godspeed to the president. That is a very important issue. I think all of us should pray for his success, of course, but at the same time, think of the security aspect as far as the South China Sea is concerned.
Yan sa number one.
I
Lazada.
cross my fingers and hope for the best.
Okay. At si FDR pala. Ano totoo na ilang mula kung hindi siya kasama?
I would rather ask you to ask him.
Thank you very much to my guests in this segment, Tony Cruz, Secretary Roilo Golez,